there everyone, welcome back to the Cookston Crafts podcast. This is episode 6 and I am Claire. I'm coming to you from northeast Scotland in Aberdeenshire, and I run Cookston Crafts from my home where I produce hand-dyed yarn, and I also teach craft workshops as well. This podcast is really just a place for me to share what's going on behind the scenes in the business and also what I've been making, and chat a little bit about my crochet makes, knitting makes, and some sewing as well. So welcome back. It hasn't taken me quite as long to get back into this again, and part of the reason for that is that I have the March treat box to show you, and I was quite conscious that I had just sold all of them, and I thought, I need to show one in the podcast. So I thought, well, now or never, let's get on with it. So today is the day. I've got a few projects, not a huge amount to share with you, obviously because I have had the March treat box. So for those of you who don't know anything about Cookston Crafts or what is the treat box, it came about 3 years ago, where I worked with a few small businesses to put together a wee box of goodies that could accompany some hand-dyed yarn. It's always a surprise, although you do get an image in advance so that you get an idea of what the colour theme is going to be. It's been really popular, and it's once every 2 months, which I think is just about manageable for me. It's pretty much a full week. So nothing else happens in that week apart from production line of yarn and boxes and packing boxes and things. I do get my niece and her friend to come help to pack the boxes and things, which is fab now. They stick on a lot of the labels and stuff for me, which is great fun. So I'm going to share that with you in just a second. And I also have a couple of makes to share with you too. I've got a new knitty project that is probably just as eye-catching as this one. My love of brights and neons hasn't gone anywhere. I tend to kind of dye a bit more muted colours, a bit more influenced by the landscape and things, but just in this last wee while I think, I have a bit of fun with colour. I think it's probably the long winter. I'm looking forward to some bright sunny skies and things. I should probably share this one that I'm wearing today. I'm out in the workshop and it's a little bit cold out here, so I thought I'd pop this on. It is the Twist and Turns Mystery Knit Along by Westknits. A lot of you will recognise this already. I made a lot of this on holiday last year. In the kids' October holidays, we were away, and it was the only project that I took with me, so I didn't really have any choice. Normally on a big project like this, I would put it down and get distracted and then come back to it, but I think I had the crux of it made pretty much in the October holidays, and I just had these sections to finish off when I came back. Yeah, twists and turns is definitely true, isn't it? All that flipping back and forth. I'm sure the guy I was sitting next to on the flight didn't really appreciate that. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to chat about the colours. This one here, Neon Melon, I absolutely love it. It's a colour I love to wear. It's just so bright and sunshiny and makes you happy. And I paired that with a teal and then silver. I used a single ply yarn, so it was the merino silk base that I dye, and to be honest with you, I'm not sure I would maybe have done this project with it again. Just all the twisting and turning, a lot of the these twisted stitches, knitting through the back loop and things, picking up stitches, maybe not quite so fun when it's a single ply because it can get split. So yeah, don't know if I would do it that way again. Oh, I'm inside out. Let's fix that. I do need it today. It's quite cold. It is quite a big one. I know that a few people have said, how on earth will I wear it and style it and things, but I find that just like that, like over the shoulders, twice wrapped over the back, that tends to be how I wear it. Now I did I know that the actual pattern, it had a fair bit of a section at the end here that you were supposed to do quite a few of these stripes. Now I think I possibly was just done with the pattern, but also when I did the first one I thought that it was framed quite nicely and that I would just finish it off there. So I did a little bit of I was a bit of a rebel and I didn't really finish it the way that it was supposed to be. But I guess that's just embracing the Westknits way, isn't it? Making it your own. Yeah, so that's that. I'm going to share the March treat box with you now. So look away now. I know that some of them were only posted out last week, and the international ones, for example, you will all still be waiting for them. So look away now if you don't want to ruin the surprise. I never show what the yarn is going to look like, just the initial image. So this month's one was a picture of deep purple tulip. I think I showed it in the last podcast. So I was thinking like this deep, rich purple, maybe some zingy green. And I don't necessarily, when I pick the image, I'm just drawn to the colour. I don't really think about what dye technique I'm going to use or anything. So it's always quite fun for me to work on. I usually have at least a couple of goes, and I had a go one day actually. I've got it here, yes I do. And I was trying to blend up like a deep rich purple, and I got one that I was quite happy with. This one, it's got lots of dark rich speckles in it. It wasn't bringing in any of the green yet, but I was just kind of playing with the purple colour, and I was thinking to myself, oh yeah, that's lovely, and it's almost identical to the Claire Fraser colourway that I've dyed already. I guess that's inevitable. You're just drawn to colours all the time, aren't you? You're drawn to the same ones that you enjoy working with. So I called it something else. It's called Blayberry. And usually when I'm experimenting like that, I make them just one of a kind. So I'm taking notes all the time, but that one is just a one of a kind one, and you'll find that on the website. After a couple of attempts at playing with different colours and things, I decided upon, let me show you this one, this. So we've got that deep, rich purple that we saw in the tulips, and I knew I had to bring in the zingy green as well. So I'm going to open this one out to show you how I dyed it, because it is a slightly different dye technique than what I would usually use. Normally, let's pull out this one. Normally I like to give highly variegated with lots of different colours. I know this is a pastel, but I kind of layer up lots of different colours. But purple and green, quite a challenge. It can go a bit muddy, so I decided instead to dye them like this, like a dip dye effect. So because they come as a loop, sorry, hair in my mouth. Yeah, because they come as a loop, a continuous circle, this will be a pooling yarn. You're always going to hit that same green section. It's quite yellowy on camera, and the purple section in the same place. So great for socks, maybe like a micro striped sock. Also good for planned pooling projects as well. Have a look at that. And it's got lots of these purple pink kind of speckles through it too, and then it just fades through all the different colours. So I hope you guys like that. And unfortunately I'm sharing it with you, but I don't have any of them left. I just sold the last one this morning, so hence the reason why I thought I better come on and show you what else was in the box. I think these are good to give an indication of what is in a treat box. The May one is open at the moment actually, and I will share an image over here of the inspiration for the colourway in May. But the March one had these lovely milk chocolate covered honeycomb, and that was from LANGLEY'S Rocky Road. They're based in Newquay, and I've had a few people feedback already how amazing these tasted. And Get quite a few, quite a big bag. I also included this rhubarb cream soda from the PAISLEY Drinks Company based in Glasgow. The kids have been dipping into these, maybe they like them. I also included a little bag of wooden buttons. I won't bother showing you them. Wooden buttons. And also some body butter and some soap from a lovely girl, Kay, who has the CLADDACH soap company. Sorry, I'm upside down. So Kay is based here in Aberdeenshire as well, and our paths crossed a few years ago in Wool for You, the wool shop in Aberdeen. Kay was working on a small batch of yarn that she had produced from her own animals, and she was producing these goat's milk products, and they're just lovely. And then finally, I included one of these little looms, well, two actually, weaving looms, so that you can use up little scraps, and you can either use this again and again, or it's got little holes in it as well that you could actually just use that as a frame and hold that woven piece. So I thought that was quite a nice crafty gift to get in your treat box too. So the next one will come out at the end of May, and it will also use, like that one, products from small businesses, and it will be based around that pink feather, the pink and purple feather that I showed earlier on. I'm quite looking forward to dyeing that. It'll be quite nice and summery, I think. Right, let me move some bits. As well as all of those treat boxes, the treat box production line that we had for about a week, I got them out last week because I was having an open day in here on Saturday, and I knew that just from a space point of view, that would give me the incentive to get them all out of the way so that I could welcome in people on the Saturday. And oh my goodness, what a day. It was great. It was fantastic. Thank you to all of you who came along and saw the workshop space. I had great plans that I was going to do demos, and I'd laid out crochet and sock knitting. I think I maybe cast on the sock. That was about as far as I got. And I had the little weaving looms and some needle punching, and I didn't do any of them. Basically, I talked from the minute I opened the doors until the minute people left at 5 o'clock. So it was a bit of a whirlwind, and I think I could probably learn from it in the future and maybe stagger the entry and things like that. Normally I just say, oh, no need, you're more than welcome, come along. But I think when you are looking for a little bit of pattern advice, and I'm thinking of some of the examples, if you have an issue with a pattern and you want some support with it, I really struggled to kind of concentrate on that type of thing because there were so many other people there. But if you ever do have an issue with that, a Wednesday is a great day to get me in here. I'm always open. That said, I'm off in a couple of weeks' time in the kids' holidays, so check first if you're ever coming out especially to see me. But yeah, I think there's probably a better way to do it, and I need to kind of stagger entry. Maybe not so much ticketed, just time slots. I don't know. I need to think about it. And I think as well, you could probably overdo this type of thing. It certainly won't be monthly. I think I might do it 2 or 3 times a year to open up the doors. But it was lovely to see people coming in and recognising each other. We're quite a small community, I think, us knitters and crocheters and crafters. So it was quite nice to see other like-minded people kind of going, oh, hi, not seen you for a while. So it certainly felt like the doors were open and it was the crafty, creative space that I've always wanted it to be. So I was delighted with Saturday. And I spent a fair while on the Sunday just past knitting. I just thought I'm going to give myself a day to just recover and knit on my new project, the Wervel sweater. Let me show you it. The Wervel sweater is in this book. It's called Neons and Neutrals, and it's by Amy who runs La Bien-Aimée. I bought this one from Sophie at Botanical Yarns, but I do believe there's other UK stockists as well, and I absolutely love it. It's a beautiful book. I have looked through it lots. I really like that one, that rat. But you can see all of the patterns on Ravelry in advance, which I thought was quite nice, because sometimes you don't want to buy the book if there's maybe only one pattern that you're going to do again, that you're going to knit. This is another lovely one with a really interesting stitch. So it's herringbone stitch, and it's with a mohair fluffy yarn as well, but I thought that was quite a nice one too. But this one, let me show you. I have it stuck on the colourwork chart. It's called Wervel, and I've been practicing how to pronounce this, so I apologise if I get it wrong, but it's by Mayaki van Gaegen, I think. Huge apologies if that's not correct. But this is the Wervel sweater, and I was just drawn to it as soon as I opened the book. I love that neon pink colour, and I thought this kind of style would be really nice. So I've gone for a similar full like main colour. I'm using the pearl cashmere yarn. I don't know if I've got it. Oh, I do. It's here, because it'll be nice to have a cashmere knitted sample to show it shows, and when people come in to visit you can see the shine on it. So I think that's going to be really lovely. But it's an interesting construction in that you do the top bit with a 4-ply fingering weight yarn, but then you double it up and you make this more of like a double knit weight. It's maybe even a little bit thicker, between a DK and an Aran weight for the body and the sleeves, which, you know, once the fun of the colour work is done, it can be a little bit of a thought to do this huge section of just plain colour work. So I'm intrigued to see how that's going to play out and how that's going to look. I worry that maybe this is going to be a bit too heavy. I don't know. I'm going to see. The possibility is there anyway that, you know, you can adapt these kind of things, and I may well do it with just one strand, but I'm going to just play it by ear and experiment and see how that goes. And to be honest, the colour work is so addictive, I don't think I'm too far off doing the body. Maybe by the end of this week, we'll see. We do have kids' holidays coming up, so I usually have a knitty project and take time off when the kids are off. Are we ready? It's really bright. So I initially cast it on, and I think I only kept it in my stories. I didn't actually even take a picture of it. I just had a video in my Instagram stories, and it was like a blue colour, like a tealy blue up here. And the orange was about here, and I wasn't loving it. I'd done a whole section of this zigzag as well, and I decided that nope, I'm going to take it out and I'm going to do it again. But I was saying to someone, I really enjoy colour work, and I enjoy the play with colour and seeing what one looks like and how much it can change just by changing out like the order or that one next to this one. So for me, it wasn't really a hardship pulling that out, because I thought, yes, I get to play with colour again. So this is a really fun one, and I'm really pleased with it so far. I know that this section here with the kind of diamonds, I know I've kind of lost the contrast a wee bit, but overall I'm really happy with it, and I really love this. Almost looks like flames. So this is then repeated, it's kind of reversed in this section, and then you separate for the sleeves. So I'm looking forward to continuing on with that. So far, the majority of these are just mini skeins. I think I've broken into my second 20-gram mini skein of the grey, which is this background colour. But so far, just 20 grams of everything else. I think I will need more, but I will keep all that in my pattern notes. So I'm really enjoying working on that. That's kind of my main project, and I've been really quite monogamous with my knitting recently. I've not had too many other projects on the go. It tends to be kind of smaller things. Two really little projects that I did work on and I've been testing out with my daughter is these little crochet rabbits for Easter. He's a little pot, or she. But I wanted to do a crochet workshop that would be doable for kids. So it's nice and chunky yarn, and it's fairly small. We start at the bottom here, but it's amigurumi style, and I'm doing a workshop in the kids' Easter holidays. So I tried to time myself to see, even if the kids don't manage the circle part, the making one double crochet all the way around should be fairly straightforward. So I'm thinking, how long would it take me to make 6 of them and then give them out? So I might do some of that in advance. We'll see. I quite enjoy doing the kids' classes because I don't think they have the same kind of fear of doing something wrong. They just dive right in and give it a go. And if you get it wrong, well, you just do it again. And I really love that enthusiasm from them. And then this is just a little Easter chick that we'll put a cream egg in for the Learn to Knit class. So I think there are still spaces on the Learn to Knit class at the moment, if you've got a wee one that wants to come along. So I've worked on a couple of little projects like that, but nothing else huge. I do have one other project that I finished really quickly a few weeks ago, and it is the sky wrap. So I like to sew as well, but I don't have as much time as I would like to do sewing projects. But I had a ceilidh to go to a few weeks ago, and I was wearing a really plain black dress, which isn't normally my kind of thing. I like colour, I like bright colours. But I decided, it was people that we didn't really know, and I decided to go a little bit more classic and went with plain black. But I knew that it needed a little something. So because it was a ceilidh, I decided to make the sky wrap. Now this is a pattern by Cool Crafting, who are the same people who do all the Luna Lapin rabbit patterns and things. So it's available as a download on their website. And apologies, it's a little bit creased because it's been in my wardrobe. But this was a beautiful tweed that I bought from KINCRAIG fabrics up in BRORA. I bought it a few years ago, and it was just a remnant. I think it was about £8 or £9. It was next to nothing, but I really liked the colour and I knew it would be handy for something. So with the sky wrap, it's basically a rectangle that you line, and I lined it with this coral orange, of course. The orange love continues. It is the soft crepe that I spoke about last time from Minerva. I really like it, like the quality of it, and it's really cheap and affordable. I think it was £4.99 a metre. So I lined it with that, and you kind of, the way that you wear it, that bit kind of folds over. I'm not showing very well. And you can add large buttons, but I didn't. I just kept the lines quite clean. And I will add a picture, the only picture that I've got of the whole night. But anyway, I wore it and it kept me nice and warm, and it was quite satisfying to say, made it for about a tenner. So that was that. That was my sewing. I did speak last time about a Vogue knitting pattern that I had bought, and I have had a little practice with some scrap fabric of the top bodice section, and I'm fairly happy with it, to be honest. It seems straightforward enough, but I need time basically to sit and cut out all the pattern pieces and things, and I haven't had much of that the last few weeks. I'll get to it. Maybe I'll do some sewing during the kids' holidays. I'll see how I get on. Anyway, I have one final thing to show you. I haven't had any kind of yarny purchases. I did buy that book and I bought the orange fabric, But I had one purchase that I made a few weeks ago and I was ridiculously happy about it. I saw on Instagram one night, and I can't remember at the moment, but I will pop it down below, the person who came up with this idea because I think it's genius. But basically, it was like a knitted pair of Converse trainers, and they were doing like a duplicate stitch on top of the knitted fabric to create these completely bespoke Converse high tops. And I was like, wow, love them, got to have. So I did a quick Google search and realised that the knitted fabric cons were like a limited edition and they were all sold out everywhere. So I went on to Vinted and punched in my size, and here we go. Someone was selling a pair for, I think it was £10, 10 or 15, I can't remember. I think it was maybe 15 by the time I paid the fees and things. So they have had a wash, and I would say that they had a wash, but then you maybe can't see so bad, but the red colour has kind of bled a little bit. But because I'm going to be stitching over the top of them, I don't think it matters so much. I also need to get longer laces too for them. But look at the knitted fabric. See the effect it's got? It's so cool. And you can kind of duplicate stitch over the top of these is my idea. Well, not my idea. It was someone else's idea and I'm copying. Blatant copying. But I'm just debating whether to use kind of a speckle, maybe one yarn to avoid all the ends, or whether to do stripes. I'm not very sure, but these silly little things make me happy. I think my family thinks I'm absolutely crazy. But do what makes you happy, eh? Anyway, a very quick podcast today. Not a huge amount to show you, but as always, lots going on here. I will be in touch again soon in a few weeks' time, and hopefully I will have those trainers to show you just how they turn out. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. All the links and everything will be below in the description box, and remember to like and subscribe, please. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. Take care.